Hi, I'm Julie, and thanks for tapping into this talk today. There's a story, well, there's lots of stories from these ancient texts called the Mahabharata. In case you're interested in ever reading it, it is a great read, because what it is it's yoga philosophy in story form. And in this particular section of the Mahabharata, there's a teacher whose name is Drona Acharya. And Drona Acharya has been the teacher to kings for people don't even know how long. He is the teacher of the kings to the martial arts, but also he's the teacher of the kings about character, about piety. And so at a certain point, Drona Acharya has two students, and they're cousins. And each of these cousins might have a chance to become king. One of them's name is Duryodhana. And Duryodhana's name is very interesting because Duryodhana's name literally means dirty fighter. It's said that Duryodhana was born, everything went dark, and dogs howled. And he was, from his very birth, was envious, was petty, was unempathetic. But yet, he was in line to the throne. Now, Duryodhana's cousin was the exact opposite, and his name was Yudhishthir. And Yudhishthir was kind and peaceful and loving. And Drona Acharya was bringing them both up, teaching them both equally, but he had to be sure. He had to be sure which of them would make the better king. And so he sat both of his students in front of him, and he said, all right, Duryodhana, I want you to go out and do something for me. I want you to go out into the great big wide world and find someone that is higher than you, someone that is higher than you. And Duryodhana said, no, Master Drona, that is ridiculous. I'm sure no one is higher than me, but okay, I will try. And then he went to Yudhishthir and he said, Yudhishthir, I want you to go out into this world and find someone that is lower than you. And Yudhishthir said, I am so low, but I will try, Master Drona. I will try to please you. And so the two of them went out. Duryodhana, and his mission was to find someone that's higher than himself. First, he came across a street sweeper, and he thought to himself, look at this man, look what he does for a living. He deals with filth. Surely he is not higher than me. And then he went on to find a merchant, someone that sold things. Look at him. He slaves like a dog all day, selling things for people, begging people to buy his things. Ha! He is not higher than me. And then he went on to another kingdom, and he saw a king. And he says, look at this king. Ha! He doesn't have robes like I will have. He is not higher than me. And no matter where he went, Duryodhana, full of pride, did not see any single person that he thought was higher than himself. On the other hand, there was Yudhishthir, looking to find someone that was lower than him. And he too came across a street sweeper. And when he saw that street sweeper, he said, look at him. Look at how hard he works. His work is so menial, and he doesn't complain at all. Surely I am lower than he is. And Yudhishthir went on to a shopkeeper. Look at how hard that shopkeeper works. He works for 10, 12 hours a day, and then takes care of his family. I have people, because I'm a prince, that take care of things for me. Oh, I'm so much lower than he is. And then he went to another kingdom, to another prince. And he said, look at all the things that this kingdom has. They work so hard for their people. They give so much for their people. I don't give as much to my people. Oh, I am so much lower than they are. And so in time, both Yudhishthir and Duryodhana went back to Drona Acharya. And Duryodhana went first. Well, Master Drona, I see why you sent me on this mission, because no matter where I looked, I could see that I'm so above everyone else. So now I am confident that I will make a great king. And without even listening to Drona Acharya, he left, so sure that he was higher than everyone. Yudhishthir sat there and said, Master Drona, I see why you sent me. I am not worthy to be king, or if I will become king, I have to work for such a long time, because everywhere I went, I saw people that were greater than me in their humility, in their work ethic, in their giving, in their compassion. I am so fallen. I cannot. I have to work to be like those people. And Dronacharya nodded. He said, thank you, because now I know for sure which one of these two cousins should be the king. And before I even unpack that story, you know what I'm going to say, right? Of course it is Yudhishthir, right? It is the one that is humble. But what is interesting about this story, can you see that both of them went to a street sweeper, both of them went to a merchant, both of them went to a kingdom, but what they saw was completely different. Because what they saw came from the lens of their own mind. That great yogi, Dr. Seuss always says, wherever you go, there you are. Or like this great writer whose name is Simon Haas says, we have to remember that we don't see the world the way it is. We see the world the way we are. Duryodhana's lenses, the lens of his mind, saw everything through a lens of, I am the best. So everything the lens of his pride and that everyone was beneath him. And here's a funny thing about someone who's prideful like that. They will never actually be happy because they are always entitled, because it will never be enough. If Duryodhana thought that someone maybe was attempting to be as high as he was, he would do everything in his power, and he does in the stories, to stamp them down. So he lives a life constantly looking over his shoulder, a life of suspicion, a life of never being grateful for what he has. In the Yoga Sutras, there's a concept called santosh, contentment. And the seed of contentment is to be grateful for what you have, because without that, you're entitled. And like Duryodhana, you will look down on people and you will never truly be happy. Yudhishthir, on the other hand, the lens of his mind, he looked for the good in people. He could see that a street sweeper isn't someone just to kick aside, is someone that is working very hard and doing things that, quite frankly, most of us wouldn't want to do, like pick up the waste and the garbage of other people. He saw the good in the merchant that worked very hard and yet had time to provide for their family and be with their family. And sometimes it's very, very hard actually to see the good with someone that's on the equal plane with you, isn't it? Sometimes when someone has the same job as you and they're doing well, it can eat at you. Again, to quote the Yoga Sutras, there's a concept called mudita, and that is to feel happy for someone who's doing well and not get jealous about them. And that's what Yudhishthir does with the king. He's like, look at how wonderfully you are ruling. And that's what we do. And this is why I love yogic stories, right? We may not have kingdoms, but we see the world through the lens of our own mind. And as we look around, we can either, as they always say, see the world as half empty or half full. We could either see the flaws in everything and every person, or we can see, as my teacher says, a person or situation's inspired side. In the great text, the Bhagavad Gita, in the 16th chapter, it talks about the qualities of the divine, not just the good, the divine. And one of the qualities is an aversion to fault finding, an aversion to fault finding. And that means not only are you not looking for the bad, but you're actually averse to it. You don't even want to go there. And what happens when you're averse to fault finding, you do the opposite. You become attracting to finding the inspired side, to uplifting, to holding a magnifying glass to someone's good side, to stoke the flames of someone's goodness. And isn't that what the people that we love, the people that are our tribe, our peeps that uplift us, isn't that what they do? The people that you love, that you go to when the chips are down, when you are like up against the wall, they see that good in you and they help you draw it out. There's a famous story from the great text, the Ramayana. It's the story of Lord Ram, but it's the story that contains that great character, Hanuman. A lot of us know Hanumanasana, the pose where you're in a full split. And it's a story of Hanuman leaping through the sky. Hanuman has all these great qualities. He literally has every quality from all the demigods. But because of a curse, he's forgotten. And at one point, he doubts he can do anything at all. He's needed. Someone is needed to leap this great expanse from what is modern-day Sri Lanka to what is India. And Hanuman simply doesn't think he could do it. And he's so sad because he wants to be helpful. But he has a friend whose name is Jambavan, who's sort of like this bear character. And Jambavan puts his hand on Hanuman's shoulder and says, "You can do it." And in that instant, he can pull out Hanuman's inspired side. In that instant, he stokes the fire of his strength, and Hanuman grows big and large and takes this giant leap across the ocean. And even though things try to stop him, because the fans of his goodness, the fans of his fire have been flamed, he easily flies across. And so in our lives, there's two things that story of Duryodhana and Yudhishthira really bring home for me. One is when we look through the lens of our attitude, are we seeing like Duryodhana? Are we seeing in pridefulness? Are we seeing the dark side of things? Are we seeing from a mood of, it's all about me and nobody can touch me? Or could we possibly see like Yudhishthira and see the good in everything? And when you see the good in everything like Yudhishthira, you become humble. Yudhishthira was so humble. And humility does not mean low self-esteem. That oftentimes gets conflated. It means to understand everything you've been given. And I always say that humility comes with two sisters, gratitude and service. When you are humble, you're automatically grateful because you see everything you've been given every single day, even on the worst day of your life. And then once you're grateful, you automatically want to serve. You want to give back from all the things you've been given. So let us inspire in life to try to see more like Yudhishthira, to look for the good, because it's there. It is there. Even, I live in New York City, so there's a lot of wonky stuff. But I always say, people got to know where to look. Yes, we are big and loud and sometimes dirty and sometimes people are a little crazy. But also on the regular, I see acts of kindness because it's there. It depends on how you look. So ask yourself, am I looking like Duryodhana? Am I looking like Yudhishthira? And when I look like Yudhishthira, can I fan the fires of goodness within myself and fan the fires of goodness in somebody else? Because someone's done that for you. And as one of my teachers said, you can never pay back your teachers or the people that have helped you enough. The only thing you can do is take what they've given you and pay it forward and do that for someone else. So this story came from the Mahabharata. The quote was from the Bhagavad Gita and also a little bit about the Yoga Sutras. So I hope that I've fanned the fire for you to look into these texts and also to, as one of my friends says, spy on your mind to see how you view the world, like Duryodhana or like Yudhishthira. Thank you for listening. Namaste.